All right, what's up, Facebook? There we go. What's up, Facebook land? It is Joshua Loya, the aspiring servant warrior, also known as Joshua the Jedi. It's been a little while since I posted a Facebook Live, and I feel like it is about time. Hopefully everybody can see me okay. I will do my best to hold this steady. What? There we go. There's see, that is the genius of Andrea Loya, aka Xena Warrior Princess, because she is driving and she is acting as my director of photography. That is impressive. Everybody give her a thumbs up. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something. I feel really good today. I got a chance to train this morning in jiu-jitsu at Studio 540 with Joel Tudor. So stoked to learn from this guy. Super patient. If you put your time in, if you're not messing around, if you're actually there to train, he will get you there. And I'm stoked to learn from him. Had a special guest in Muay Thai. I am a little bit on the embarrassed side. I do not recall the gentleman's name, but he's a pretty solid Muay Thai practitioner. Has had some fights in Thailand and done very well. So thank you for Tiffany Tombaum, Van Soest for bringing him in, and of course yoga with Ariana, as always, beautiful. But I wanted to talk about something because I thought this is really important. And you know, I have never been in actual formal military service, so take what I'm saying as coming from somebody who has not been in combat. I do not know what that's like. For me, my training, for the most part, is largely hypothetical. I have been able to apply my martial arts training to talking people down from self-defense situations. I have recently been in a situation where I got in between two people who were going to fight and was able to hold one person back. But I'm not, other than a handful of jiu-jitsu competitions and judo competitions, and then plenty of training with my friends. It's been a long time since I've been in a physical fight, and there's really hasn't been any real high-end situations since I've been practicing martial arts for the last 13 years. All of that to say this, that there is this idea that a warrior or a martial artist is necessarily perfect, that we don't have vulnerabilities, that we don't have days where we feel like absolute garbage, that even as a black belt, I currently hold 5 different black belts, 4 of them from the same instructor, but I have 5 black belts. I train regularly in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, not as regularly in judo, and of course I have a little bit of Muay Thai experience and love training and learning from all kinds of people. The thing that I want to really highlight, though, is that martial arts isn't about being better than everyone else. Yes, of course, there's competition. Yes, do I like coming out on top and getting the tap? Absolutely. Do I enjoy being tapped by somebody else in a jiu-jitsu role? No, I don't, but that's also part of the learning process. Although there are times when I've been submitted by somebody with some beautiful jiu-jitsu, and there's an art there to it. All that to say, though, is sometimes people are struggling. Sometimes people are dealing with a lot of stuff, and we don't know what somebody's going through. We don't know what somebody chooses to keep private. We don't know what internal struggle they're having, what things are triggering really intense memories from their past. We don't know what kind of family struggles they're having. And what I really wanted to offer, and this is about all, I'm actually only going to do this very, very shortly, is if you fall. Because it's not when you fall. It's not if you fall, it's when you fall. So when you fall, get back up. When you fall, if you can't get back up on your own, ask for a hand up. If somebody offers help and you need help, please let them know you need help. Recently I had a couple months ago, I had somebody, kind of look over to me and ask me if I was doing okay, and I was actually in kind of a dark place, mentally speaking. And somebody asked me if I was doing okay, and I told them that I was, and I was lying. I almost swore in the intensity of my explanation or relaying of this anecdote. I told them I was fine, mostly because I just wanted to be polite. I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to cause other people to have to pay a price for me being in a dark spot. And that's something I've talked about from time to time. I deal with depression and anxiety. I got some post-traumatic stress from some pretty horrible things that happened to me when I was in my middle school years. And obviously I persevere. Obviously I go and I keep going. I'm still here. But I haven't always wanted to be. And I have contemplated what it would be like if the world didn't have me in it. And there's a lot of people who hurt, and there's a lot of people who go through a lot of really rough stuff, and they feel like the world would be better without them in it. And I'm here to tell you, if you're one of those people who feels like you need the pain to end, if you feel like you can't keep going, if life is too tough, too difficult, too painful, please reach out. I'm not always the best at responding, but if you send a message to me, if you on my Facebook message here, I'm pretty good about responding. Not always. I'm inconsistent, but I will do my best to respond. And I'm actually trying to be better about responding to people who have a need, because if we don't reach out, if we feel like we have to be perfect, sometimes life can be too much. And if somebody reaches out to us and we do need help, let's be honest with them. Maybe we don't feel comfortable being as fully vulnerable as perhaps we should, but at least say, hey, I'm not doing okay, but I appreciate you asking. And whatever it is, I think for those people who've struggled, one of the things ways we can honor those of us. I've had friends and people close to me that have struggled, and in fact, I was really fortunate. I had a friend probably about 6 or 7 years ago attempt to take his own life, and he lived, but he might not have. And I felt guilty about that. I've had other people since then who have done that and have unfortunately succeeded in taking themselves out of this conscious experience that we call human life. And it is not an easy thing to deal with struggle. It is not an easy to feel isolated, to feel alone, to feel hurt. But please, if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to me, reach out to anybody. If you do jiu-jitsu, reach out to your coach or your training partner. If you do another martial art, reach out to somebody else who trains with you. If you have guys that you or lady friends that you surf with, after you come in from riding, let them know, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? There is so much living to do. There is so much living and wonder that there is to experience. And depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, whatever your particular mental difficulty is, it is not insurmountable. And I just want to encourage you that if you want to be a warrior, if the warrior lifestyle, if the ideals of warriors from the past, and if you desire, if that resonates with you, whether it be the chivalry of the knights of Europe, or some of the ideals of Bushido from the samurai. I recognize that neither of those two warriors, the people who were within that kind of framework, were perfect. We kind of idealize both samurai and European knights, and yet the ideal can still be powerful and very inspiring, and to me it is. If that strikes a chord with you, we have this misconception that a warrior needs to be perfect. A warrior cannot be vulnerable. A warrior who is hurting, there is no shame in asking for help. And I really wanted to take a minute to encourage you. Reach out, get some help if you feel like you need it. And I think I'm going to leave it there. I have said it many times, and I will say it as many times as I can remember to do so, because I believe it. Adventure is a state of mind. God bless you, and I love you all.